Hello everybody and welcome back to my Country Sparkles channel. Today I'm going to show you how to freeze dry cheesecake. I love freeze drying cheesecake. It is one of my most favorite treats to snack on. I love that I can make it into small bites and I don't have to have a big giant piece of cheesecake, so I feel like I'm like stuffing myself full of sugar. I can just have a couple bites to satisfy that sweet tooth. Now unfortunately, I already filmed the first half of this of me cutting up the cheesecake and my mic wasn't on. So I'm doing this again. Let me show you how I cut up a cheesecake. Luckily, I have a couple pieces left over. As you can see, I have some cut up already. I like to cut them into squares, nice bite-sized pieces. So what I'm gonna do, even though cheesecake is in a circle, I'm going to cut it into more of strips. So let's go right down here, cut it in a strip like that, and then into kind of little squares. But instead of putting like this whole rectangle piece, which is pretty tall to be freeze dried, about half of that is really what a bite size is. So I'm gonna split them in half and then put them on the tray. Next piece, split it in half and put it on the tray. When I eat these sparingly, they last me quite a long time. So this is how I cut up my cheesecake to put into my trays. This is what they look like, all on the freeze-dried trays. Cheesecake, filled up about 3.5 trays for one full cheesecake from Costco. I'm so excited. They're definitely not all the same size. It's not super pretty, perfectly square shapes or anything like that. That's okay, the crumbs will be delicious also. Now I'm gonna go ahead and head downstairs and put them into my freeze dryer. If you haven't yet seen what my freeze dryer looks like, go ahead and go check out that video. I'll link it at the end of this video, my freeze dry machine tour. It is an older machine. I have been freeze drying for 8 years and it's a Harvest Right machine, and it's from back when they only had one size. So go check out that video if you'd like to see how my freeze dryer works. But I'm gonna freeze dry these and then I will show you what they look like when they're all done. So here we have our freeze-dried cheesecake. It looks delicious. It's nice and hard. Very firm, and they're gonna be divine to eat. I'm just gonna put them in this jar and use my mini handheld vacuum sealer here with 4 jar lids to suck some air out to keep the cheesecake fresh longer until I eat it. And I'm just gonna eat these one piece at a time and snack on them. So let's fill up our jar. And everything's going in here. All the little pieces, all the big pieces. Trust me, when you get to the end, you're like, no, there's none left, and there's some crumbs in the bottom. Oh, you'll want to eat the crumbs. Let's fill this up. I freeze-dried one whole cheesecake, and so this is a little bit more than 1/4 of a cheesecake here that I'm putting in this jar just from this one tray. Here's a second tray going in here. So this jar's a 1/2 gallon jar, I'm pretty sure. And it looks like it does about 1/2 a cheesecake worth, maybe a little bit less than 1/2 a cheesecake worth. Shaking down. A couple more in there. Oops. Okay, the more I have in there, the less air will be in there, and so the fresher they'll stay longer. Okay, so now that that's all filled up, take my canning lid there. You can use a brand new lid here, or you can use a used canning lid. Either way works really well for vacuum sealing, unless the canning lid is really old and used, then it won't work quite as well. So we just put that there, and we put our vacuum sealer on top like this, and then we just push the button to start it. And then we let that vacuum out the air for about a minute, and then it will be, oops, oh dear, it did not seal very good. It has got some cheesecake on it, so I'm gonna wipe that down. Okay, I'm gonna put this on here, just like this. And start sealing. It's kind of changing sounds, so I think that means it's working. I'm kind of holding this on there pretty tight because this jar is not necessarily a canning jar. It's just a really big jar I have. And so sometimes you need to work with those a little bit differently in order to get them to actually vacuum seal. So give this just a little while to seal. If you want to know more about this handheld vacuum sealer, I have a video about it that I will link at the end of this video. Okay, let's check this. So if it's sealed, then, oh look, I can kind of lift up the jar. I don't want to lift it up too high because I don't want my jar to break, but it definitely has a seal. So let's see if the lid sealed on also. Oh, yeah, apparently the rubber ring's going to pull out with this. There we go. Yeah, nice. It's nice and sealed. I can't pop it off with my fingers, so that looks great. There you have it. That's what my freeze-dried cheesecake looks like and how I'm going to store it. And that is how you freeze-dry cheesecake. Thank you so much for joining me in this video today. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up down below and don't forget to subscribe so that way we can see you next time and you can catch our newest videos. Thanks you guys. Bye.